Hey everyone, welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We are at the Order of Truth, seeking out some knowledge of one way or another. We originally came here because Alagern, our trusted ally, asked us to come and talk to a friend of his at the Order of Truth, but when we got here, he wasn't here and he had left a coded note to Alagern saying that he had to leave. Let's see if he actually he did not leave me a journal note. Let's actually talk to Alagern and see what he has to say about this. What was in that note you found? Don't want to talk about it here, maybe outside. Okay. Then let's talk to the folks here, and then when we get outside, you can tell me what's going on.
All right.
Oh, we already interacted with that. So, there's Kalistej, who is one of our allies to begin with, but left the party because she dislikes Alagern so much. This tall, stately woman studies the air with intense focus of an artisan. She senses your approach and faces you. Concentration turns to surprise, then awe-tinged anger. Adon! I haven't seen you for 10 years. 10 years. I cannot begin to imagine what your excuse might be. I'm not Adon. She blinks once, twice, a smile blooms. You're a Castoff, she murmurs, studying you from head to foot with an appraising and somewhat proprietary eye. Remarkable. This is like visiting a house you once owned and seeing the new tenants through the windows. I've met members of your little family before, of course, trailing around in that shadow, looking for clues or trying to repair the damage. I can help you if you like, but there's something I need from you first. Not going to agree to anything without more information. Oh, reason. Lovely. Well, think it over and tell me when you're ready to help. Helping Alagern here with a problem if you've seen a priest named Orthfang. Not recently. Men may know where he is, however. Amazing. First you wander about in Adon's shadow, and now you're trailing after his cast-offs. It's a wonder you ever found time to be an Aeon priest. Oh, my apologies. You quit, didn't you? I keep forgetting. Alagern says, I'm surprised you even know what an Aeon priest is. The Order of Truth is supposed to share knowledge. You hide it. And with good reason, she says smoothly. What do you do here? I study the ruins and remnants of past worlds, when I have time, of course. These days the Order spends most of its time helping the city than on its own research. Now let's talk about that favor you want, of course. This is the anechoic lazaret. It has been hopelessly sealed since the dawn of the Ninth World until I managed... she smiles. I managed it in a week or two. It was quite simple once you figured out the trick. I've been slipping in and out at nights, investigating the technology within, taking notes. Then more recently I discovered that the structure was sealed again. I think one of your colleagues is responsible. I doubt it. First of all, I haven't told them. The Order has been trying to open the lazaret for centuries, and I want it for myself now. Secondly, my colleagues are nosy and somewhat competitive in a charmingly amateuric fashion, but none of them have stories for out-and-out treachery. I believe someone tramped inside with no regard for the dangers and managed to trigger a failsafe that resealed the structure. I need someone to reopen the lazaret and handle whatever nonsense the trespassers have stirred up in their wake. Can't you handle this yourself? Oh, certainly. Perhaps I could draw upon my literal seconds of combat experience and deal with potentially violent intruders in a series of sporting one-on-one duels. On second thought, perhaps we should play it safe. I want you to take care of this for me. Needless to say, I would also prefer the structure in an undamaged state as I left it. Well, there it is. Will you help? I will if I have time. Of course. Simply head down to the Reef of Fallen Worlds, brandish this at the door of the lazaret, and it should open before you. Good luck. I have some questions about the changing god. Good. Curiosity about your origin is quite healthy. I'll be happy to share what I know once you've completed that favor for me. Man.
I'm ready.
Yeah, the cult of the changing god, at least they were willing just to talk to us. Okay, I already talked to this guy, but... where's Worth Fong again? Found his note, didn't you? Allegern would know better than I would. Worth didn't tell any of us where he was going. Okay.
Yes.
That's true. Like, for truth seekers and knowledge spreaders, they sure are stingy with information. Slouched before you is a figure in a dusty, unremarkable robe. Loose folds of rough cloth shift to reveal a vaguely humanoid form with elongated facial features and two elaborate biomechanical arms. You can't help but notice the size, the shape, and even the number of its digits changing as it tinkers with bizarre-looking device on the table. It glances up at you. Its eyes are the size of your palms. You realize that it is a visitant, a being from another world. Greetings, fellow sentient. I will be with you in a moment. Its mechanical fingers contract and dance independently over the surface of the device before it, adjusting and tightening. There, I am Snurf, guest of the Order of Truth. What brings you to my workspace? Tell me about yourself. Your curiosity honors me. I came through the bloom from another world. To be absolutely honest, I was exiled for inadvertent sacrilege and perversion. I would imagine that you are curious about my people's reproductive processes at this point. I would happily describe them. What? No, please don't. Ah, well, if the topic makes you uncomfortable, I completely understand. Tell me if you change your mind. It's a rather complicated topic, however, so let me know when you're ready to speak at length. Let's see, one of the foremen is trying to transfer energy into his children, but they keep dying. Do you think you could help?
I'll remember that.
Absolutely. I must regretfully ask for a small payment of 50 shins to cover my expenses. However, I am a guest here and not an Aeon priest. The city does not fund my research. Sure, I'll help out. Excellent. Now let me ask you a few questions about the situation. Do try to be accurate, or the device I craft will be less effective. First of all, machine intelligence are rarely driven to create offspring. Why does the foreman wish to have children? Doesn't everyone? Not in my experience, certainly not in my world. That is why we made reproduction mandatory. I'll simply write unknown reasons. Okay, when we talked to him, I'm pretty sure he was pretty clear about why he wanted to do it, but okay. On the second question, has it had any success in transferring energy to its children? How long do its children take to expire? Almost immediately. Intriguing, makes another note. Final question, how are the foreman's intelligences stored? Void arrays, shielded ring coils, or some other method? Probably some other method. The foremen are extremely old. Ah yes, the blessing and curse of the Numenera, so unique and therefore so incredibly difficult to study properly, to classify them as they deserve. I shall do my best regardless. At any rate, I shall get to work. This should not take long.
Making a note.
Here you are. In short, there is nothing wrong with the foreman's body, and it wants to have children. Therefore, something in its intelligence's governing spirit, the sub-intelligence, if you will, must be blocking the energy transfer. Attaching this device to the foreman should disable the sub-intelligence's defenses. Good luck. Farewell. I don't really want to hear about his methods of reproduction. The thin young man smiles hesitantly as you approach. You notice small, metallic ovoid protruding from his skull, nearly hidden from by his disheveled hair. The fingers of his left hand tap nervously on his leg as he speaks. I'm not a real priest yet, if that's what you were thinking. Usually visitors only talk to me because they think I'm a priest, but I'm still a novice. What's that implant on your forehead? It's not just on my forehead, not just the skin, I mean. It's bonded with my skull. It keeps me awake and alert, and I don't get tired until it runs out of power. What power is it? Dreams, the scarier ones, the better. Ugh. What's your area of study? What? You want to know what I'm working on? Are you sure? Yeah? designing an intelligence, but not the normal kind, not just metal or with a dependent intelligence rigging system. No, it's larger than that, stronger. The idea is this: an intelligence that can find, test, identify, and fully understand Numenera. We can unlock the secrets of lost civilizations. Do you understand? If we do this, we can break the chains binding us to the past and turn them into reins with which we can steer the future. I can't help noticing that your plan is long on rhetoric and short on specifics. I have a plan, but it will take more time and money. It's only a theory, though, for now. I don't have the funding, not yet. But I've been studying machines with men when he can spare the time, and he likes my ideas, even if he thinks they're impossible. I think he's disappointed I'm not a real Aeon priest yet. Don't you want to be one? Oh yes, that would change everything. Only full Aeon priests have access to the Order's funds. I can use them to build a full prototype. Men might protest, but he'll understand once I get the design right. I just need to get it right, it's all. Okay. Yeah, this is a strange place. As opposed to all the normal places we've discovered in this world. But let's come out here and talk to Allegern and see what he has to say. Now that we're out of the area. And one of the things I still haven't gotten used to in these games, well, not gotten used to, but I guess one of the things I find amusing in games like this is since you always travel as a party, like you never get any alone time with anybody. So, like, if I'm going to go and talk to Allegern about his deepest, darkest secrets...
Want to know what was in that note I picked up from Worth? He's gone. Took the device I had him working on and left without saying where he was going. He told me I should take special care with my tattoos. Didn't say what he meant, though. Not sure if he meant I should make them stronger, or if it was because of how I got them, or...
Not interested in talking about it, don't ask. All I was saying is it's interesting that when we're going to have like these personal conversations, we always have to do it in front of everybody else in the party, even if they don't really get along. If you want to improve them, I'll help. Gaining control of your tools is crucial. Sure, wouldn't want to hurt innocent bystanders, would you? We can work on those improvements later. Let's talk about you some more. Tell me about your history again. I was an Aeon priest. Things happened. Here I am. That's right. He doesn't like talking about. Yeah, let's just go.
Let's go.
So we still don't know where this guy went. He just told him to. Be careful with his tattoos. So, well, that doesn't give us a lot of new information. Tell you what, let us go to the caravanserai, because one of the things that we did take care of is helping. We had an airship captain that had one of his airships stolen, and I think we've got something that will help remedy that particular situation, which is good because eventually we need to leave here anyway. Okay. Everything here looks kind of like we left it. Yep, here we go. There they are. Hey guys, Master Renio. Master Renio is still glaring at Erritis, who's this guy who stole the ship. Apologies were not settled this matter. I demand compensation for the airship you destroyed and failing that service. And Renio, the certificate of indemnity. You pass the certificate of indemnity you got from the council clerk to Renio. He takes the document gingerly as though expecting it to bite and reads it, lips moving silently. They freeze mid-word.
Making a note.
Compensation for any and all damages? How in the world did you... Never mind. This is magic. I don't want to know how the trick was done. He eyes you with great tenderness. Thank you. You've saved my family business. And with that uncertainty out of the way, I'll be resuming flights to the Valley of Dead Heroes shortly. Erritis stares between the two of you, utterly puzzled. He was either expecting more arguing or an outright fight. This civil discussion has apparently baffled him. I'll go back to Cliff's Edge. Things were more exciting there. Grumbling. Huh. Thought he'd be happy. I mean, we just fixed it so he doesn't have to do, like, permanent service. But, I am not ready to go yet, though. Okay. So then the other question is...
All right.
I mean, we've got, we have a quest. I mean, our quest is to fix the resonance chamber. And Makina told us that we can go to the Valley of Dead Heroes and find this guy Mazov, who should know more about the resonance chamber. In fact, he helped build it. So that seems like the best way to go, even though, I mean, this Order of Truth guy, she said that she'll be able to help us, but I don't know if I trust her. I mean, I guess we could go and look anyway, but let's see. This book thing, I don't have any leads on, so I don't even know what to do with it. So that's probably something we'll have to come back to. I never did find this adversary. I don't know if we want to do that. Enter the infested fathom. I don't think we're ready for that. We don't have with us anymore. And find a way to communicate with the shadowy reflection that has appeared in the labyrinth. And for that, we need to take something from a little girl.
Sure.
I haven't decided if I want to do that or not, but Cliff's Edge is where at least two of these things are, I think. So let's go and wrap up these last couple things before we head off to the Valley of Lost Worlds, or Valley of Dead Heroes, that's it. So, I want to go and follow up with Erritis and figure out why he's upset with us.
All right. Yes. Now.
Stolen goods here, stolen goods at a fair price. Let's see. Ah, he's over here. Oh, and he's talking to somebody. The hooded thug. Hey there. Greetings, are you ready to travel together yet? Have amazing adventures? Yeah, sure, why not? Of course you do, and I'm ready. I'm always ready. Are we heading into a fight, or should I start one?
Fine.
Yeah, this guy's gonna get us into so much trouble, but...
Onward!
but at least he's entertaining about it. Let's see. I don't think we leveled up yet, but he is an overly impulsive glaive who is as heroic as he believes himself to be. He is opportunist, which allows him to make basic attacks against the first enemy that moves within weapon range. He wears armor. He does bonus critical attacks. Never boring. He bounces around the battlefield. It's plus 20% critical hit chance whenever he attacks a new target. And all other party members get plus 5% on smashing, initiative, and melee attacks. That's kind of cool. He cannot concentrate, which is funny. Melee, initiative, running, smashing. Okay, so yeah, he smashes stuff. Okay, he's got a great sword. Well, that's probably good. We
Those
could always...
tattoos hurt? They look like they probably hurt.
Does your glow hurt you?
Is this one of your riddles? If so, your riddles hurt too.
Okay,
Yes.
I think he's going to be an entertaining addition to the team. I'm also
Consider it done.
entertained because apparently he has a thing from Akina as well. Okay, so what do we have? I could go and take that box from that girl, which would help us. Man, do I not want to do that? Okay, I'm going to go talk to her one last time. I'm going to see if there is an option to do this. Like maybe we can just buy the thing from her, and then she can use the money to get food for her little family here. As you regard this girl, you are struck by a spark of recognition. Though they hardly look the same, something about her reminds you of the ghost you encountered in the Fifth Eye. Yeah, I'll pay for a song today. Play me a happy song again. No. Do. Yeah, that should give me a buff
Ready
too.
for whatever comes.
Okay, let me ask you some questions. Oh, I can send them to the House of Empty Time. Yeah, but, so these two said that they're waiting for their father to return from the bloom. I would rather make sure that their father's not coming back before, I do something like that, so. You remind me of someone I met in the Fifth Eye. People say that to me sometimes. They think I'm one of those girls who are becoming somebody else, but I'm not, at least not anymore. What do you mean? When I was younger, I used to feel there was another person who was always nearby, just out of sight. Sometimes she'd slip into my mind and I'd hear her voice. I think I was supposed to become her. But I wouldn't. Every night in my dreams we fought, and every night I won. After a while, she got weaker and weaker until I couldn't hear her voice at all. Now she's gone and I've never heard from her again. You know anything else about her? No, and I don't want to. I don't think we had much in common. Maybe that's why I could fight her off and the other girls can't. I'm glad she's gone. Let's talk about something else. I don't like talking about that other girl. Makes me think about what might have happened if I hadn't fought her so hard. Let's talk about that box. Again? You want to take it from me, don't you? Oh. I met a girl who's very sad to have lost that. Can I bring it back to her? She hesitates for a long moment, then holds it out to you. I guess so. You're very kind. The girl is going to be happy. Tell her I'm glad.
Updated my journal.
Was that all you wanted? Farewell. Farewell, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Because I didn't want to just take it from her. I didn't want to just be like, it's not yours, give it to me. But, crashed airship. Okay, so for that, I need to go back to... I need to go back to the labyrinth. Which means I've got to come down here. First, we're going to go talk to the foreman who wants to... The impression I get is there's a foreman who's a machine, like a robot, and he's
Done right.
he's an ancient machine, and he's been through a lot, and he wants to, like, give his life energy to his little creations.
Sure.
But, he's been unable to do it. So let's see. You have brought a device from the Order of Truth. What is its purpose? It should bypass the part of you that is preventing you from creating offspring. Very well, I'm ready. Use the procreative surge turbine to transfer the foreman's life into its children. Persuasion. You have to find another way to have children. Tarnish doesn't deserve to watch you die. Okay. I don't know what the right thing to do is. So, should we help him do what he has been asking us to help him with? Or should we not? I'm going to go ahead and do this one. That's what he wants, so... Makina, Erritis, So I have a 55%. I can buff that to 95%. Yeah, we don't want to mess this up.
I'll remember that.
Turbine hums to life. The fans whirl. The fans within whirl, singing a high, trembling note, and a cold energy pours through the air like blood from a wound, flooding into the motionless children. One by one, their tiny eyes flicker into life. One by one, the foreman's eyes go out. Its voice mesh rattles as if it's gonna speak. Go, explore, love. And it falls silent. Children watch the death of their parent with wide glowing eyes. He'd want me to thank you, the old man says hoarsely, but I ain't. You knew him all of 10 minutes, none of my entire life I have, and you came and took him from me. Without a look at his master's children, Tarnish sets off into the dark. Aw. Some of the little constructs wander in circles, chirping to themselves. One of them is already making for the exit, and one of them is motionless, stillborn. Yeah, let's let them go and find their, So let's, the ones that are already going, let's let them be free, and we'll take the dead one. Stillborn construct. Carefully pick up the stillborn construct, cradling it. The rest of the foreman's children chase each other for a few minutes longer before following the one heading for the exit. Allegron grunts. That was a good thing you did, kid. Huh.
You want it done right.
Well, at least we got somebody thinking we did the right thing for once. Let's see, what was this thing we got? An inert? This inert little figure of metal and synth was cobbled together from parts of the crippled foreman, making it one of the construct's children. With your help, the foreman transferred some of its energy into the little creature, but for some reason it never came to life. Oh, he looks like a little robot. Who knows, maybe we can fix it later. So, okay, let's okay, so now I'm gonna go find Shakekt over here to take us back to the headquarters of the Changing God, so that I can go into the labyrinth, and maybe we can get this. Can you take me someplace under the city? Take me to the Changing God Sanctuary. Anyway, we can go into the labyrinth and talk to that woman again. And then,
I'm ready.
I think that means that we will be ready to move on to the next area. Unless we wanted to go to investigate that place for the Order of Truth. I don't really trust them, but it might not be a bad idea just to go ahead and finish it off. Oh good, we still have dead bodies in here.
I'm ready.
From the last time I used the mirror. Okay. This is a horrible... use the thin mirror to kill yourself again.
I can't die.
I hate that option, but it's the only way I know to get here. It reminds me of Planescape Torment, which is supposedly the spiritual predecessor of this game.
Of course.
Your character could die and then he'd just get brought back. And so you could just die over and over and over again. But at the end of the game, you found out there's actually a cost to... I don't want to give it away in case you haven't played it yet, but there's a cost every time that you die. And so after playing a game where I had died like 20 times, then at the end it reveals, oh, by the way, this bad thing happened every time you died. And I'm kind of having a flashback here, but... Okay. The woman-shaped hole in the air waits, hands outstretched. Place the puzzle box in the outline's palm. You gently place the cube in the shadowy figure's hands. They close over it, and a young woman, the one you found dead in the ruins of the house, plunges towards you out of the darkness, filling the outline until the outline is her. She nearly stumbles into you before she stops herself, blinking hard. Ouch, she says. You notice the box that you gave her is now as ghostly as she is. Well done. I'll give you two some time to talk. You turn to the young woman again. She glances at the darkness above you, and something about the expression reminds you of someone. Of course, the ghostly woman in the fifth eye. You look familiar. What's your name? Saria. You remember me. You found me beneath the chunks of my adopted father's house with my guts smashed to paste. Who is your adopted father? Orsiolo. He was one of you. A Castoff, I mean. Poor old man. He never wanted to be special. He found me, fed me, talked to me when I was, troubled. But when the house fell on me, I guess he couldn't stand it, and he went looking for a way to die.
Remember that.
She falls silent, but you don't need to be told what happened next. You've seen the statue, after all. It was grief that drove Orsiolo to seek death in the sorrow's arms. Saria watches you, eyes shining with some inner light. I'm sorry that this happened to you. Don't be. He tried to help me, but my life wasn't so wonderful. I was always confused. I had a voice in my mind, a woman, telling me I was supposed to be her. Orsiolo tried so hard to make me feel better, to talk to me when it was really bad. But I think he knew I couldn't last. It couldn't last. He was afraid, but not for himself. He knew that I was going to die. One time he said that he'd seen me die too many times, then shut himself up. She claps a hand to her mouth, lowers it like that. But he wasn't wrong, was he? Even if he was a little crazy to begin with. You seem awfully at peace about this. Well, I'm not really me. I'm a reflection of what my father saw of me, the only piece of his mind that's left. When he died, his part of the labyrinth, well, I want to say it broke, but it was worse than that. The cracks burst up through the ground and everything started crumbling. I could feel parts of him slipping away, snapping off. I'm glad you brought me here. I would have fallen apart eventually, and then there'd be nothing of him left, nothing of either of us. Do you know anything about Orsiolo? I shouldn't I? I was part of his mind after all. But no, if I focus, I can see the other women he took care of, the ones that looked like me, I mean. But it's like looking through a dirty glass, I think. I think that means he didn't want me to think about them, or couldn't. I don't know why he spent all that time caring for us. I guess I'll never know for sure now, but all right, one time, I asked him what his tattoo meant. Atonement, he said, but not, dramatically. He said it like he was saying his name, like it was everything he was. Like if he couldn't atone for, whatever it was, there was no reason to exist anymore. But I don't know why he started, and I'll never get a chance to ask him. And that's it. That's all I know about the man who raised me for years. Kids, huh? A creature named the Sorrow killed Orsiolo. Do you have any idea how it found him? No, he didn't abuse his power like some of you do. Didn't pull against the tides or use them as weapons. He never wanted to be noticed, to be found. Didn't matter, did it? What's that puzzle box mean to you? My father gave it to me. He said it was a very old puzzle and that solving it would help me. I never did, but fumbling with it made me feel better. I always had the feeling that the pictures on it might mean something, but that was as far as I got. Okay, what are you again? A reflection from Orsiolo's mind, that the only one that's left. That's sad. I'll be here, in your head. And she is. You abruptly feel her presence inside your mind as if she's always been there, a new weight behind your temples. Something has happened on an instinctual level. You've established a bond with this reflection. Some of her gifts are yours, and you feel stronger for it. However, this link fully occupies a corner of your mind. You may be able to forge connections with more than one reflection in the labyrinth, but not many. You gain Saria's peace, which is gain +1 might pool, +1 speed pool, +1 intellect pool. Interesting.
All right.
Okay, let's go back to the real world then. Hey guys, I'm not dead after all. So there is, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and take this to,
Come on.
we
The day's wasting.
can use this as like a teleporter. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So there are a few women around Sage's Cliffs that are all tied to the ghostly woman in the fifth eye, and it's like she's like sucking their life force or something, and they've all found different ways of dealing with it. And it sounds like that one Castoff was like he was trying to protect all of them, so maybe he was linked to it. I'm not sure if there's something else to do about that, but let's go talk to the sculptor and then we'll rest.
If you want a job done right.
And we'll talk to Erritis real quick, and then we'll probably be finished for this session. But let's talk to the sculptor here, now that we've got some more information on the guy who died. You've learned something about my subject. Why does he go so willingly into his murderer's arms? Tell me, leave nothing out. His daughter was killed when their home collapsed. Grief drove him to seek his own death. Grief? He was ruled by sorrow, and the creature killed him. Did he call to her? Was it anger? No. Resignation? Madness. Carving, scraping, shouting, and muttering, Zelfi has clearly forgotten you were here, except for one detail. His hand gropes clumsily in his pocket, retrieves the pouch, and thrusts it at you, Spirit Shroud. Good luck, and... Okay, so... what was that he gave us? A Spirit Shroud. A cloak. When damaged by energy, chemical, mental, or trans-dimensional damage, it confers a Spirit Shroud. It's active for 1 round. Okay, so we have a fancy cloak now.
Yes.
Which does not seem to show on our character. Oh, it does. It's like a little ghost shroud. That's cool. Okay. I want to talk to Erritis here real quick.
Onward! Well met yourself.
I want to talk to you. Hey. You catch Erritis staring at the sky with a distant look in his eyes. His strangely pale skin is nearly bronze in the golden glow surrounding him.
I should climb a building. No, a tower. And jump off the top. Should it be on fire? Yes. Yes and yes.
Are you actually thinking about setting buildings on fire? No, not today anyway. We have things to do. I'm just planning ahead for if things get... boring? Yes, I have to be moving. Boring seconds turn into boring minutes, then entire hours where nothing happens, and then you're dead of old age. But you aren't here to talk about me, or are you? How are things between us? You don't even need to ask. I'd think we were twins if we didn't have different parents. Okay, what's your opinion of the people we're traveling with? Oh, I like them. They keep things from getting too quiet or thoughtful. They get in the way of the mirrors, and I appreciate that. Oh, you want specific details. Who about? Allegard. He's really smart and interesting. Funny, too. I don't understand a lot of what he says, though. That might be because most insults go right over your head. Might be. Makina. She's kind, smart, and beautiful. Also, I hate to admit this, but I think she might be a better fighter than I am. Don't tell her I said any of that, alright? I'm literally standing right here, she says. Is he messing with me? Ah, did I mention she's stealthy? She's the stealthiest woman I've ever fallen in love with. Met. You mentioned that you don't like mirrors. Why is that?
Something new.
I did? What a strange thing to say. Who doesn't like mirrors? I certainly don't. Wait. I like mirrors. Oh, his golden aura fades until it almost isn't there. I like mirrors. I have no problem with them. Let's talk about something else. I've never heard the name Erritis before. What does it mean? Names mean things? I thought they were just to put words on faces. I should mean fast or impossibly handsome, but I really have no idea. Do you know what the name means? Allegard says travels with idiots, though in my case it's less of a meaning and more of a curse. Names can be curses too. I really need to find out which mine comes from, but tell me if you see any idiots and I'll help you drive them off. Hold on. This sounds like an exciting quest to set off on someday. Discover secret meaning of name. Done. Where do you come from? I come out of the west, traveling day and night to escape the hired killers hounding my overstep. I mean, where do you come from originally? from the storms of the south. At first, I think it was only an outline in the clouds of dust, but then I emerged, swords in every hand, cape swirling. You should have been there. I don't think you're understanding me. Where were you born? That's a strange question. Babies aren't interesting. You're asking when I realized I was a hero. Now I'm trying to figure out your literal place of birth, Erritis, where you grew up. Who knows? Who cares? Heroes come from villages, so that's probably where I'm from. A village. This guy's hilarious. Let's talk another time.
Want to talk? Start talking.
Hey, Makina. I want to see what you have to say about Erritis. Oh, gossip. How exciting. I've killed people for lesser offenses than he offers moment to moment. Erritis, I never meant to offend you, Maddie. The next time I insult you, tell me, and I'll never bother you again. I'm insulted. Oh, maybe the next time. Hey, Allegern, what do you think of Erritis here? If we have to. He's certainly animated and more than a little exhausting. Have no fear, if you collapse on the ground I will carry you gently onwards like the frailest of blushing maidens. Well, there's another image I'll never get out of my head.
It's a plan.
Okay, I'm very glad to have him in the group. He's probably going to get us all killed, but at least he'll get us killed in an entertaining way. And I just noticed that Allegern leveled up. So let's take care of that real quick. Let's give him some increased edge. It's either might or spirit or intellect. Hang on. He's got decent intellect too, so let's give him that. Although most of his, yeah, he's kind of split between intellect and might, so now I'll have one edge in both. So
Try to tame your enthusiasm, will you? We're not playing a game.
A game? No. I wasn't playing anything.
You were laughing to yourself. We're not supposed to be having fun here.
Oh, Allegern. If an adventure isn't fun, it's no kind of adventure at all.
And let's rest for the night. We request a small donation of 40 shins. I'll pay. And we are all healed up and ready for our next adventure. So next time, I might go back to Sage's Cliffs and investigate that one building that we were asked to investigate. And then we'll probably be off to the Valley of... What is the name of this place that I keep forgetting? We'll be heading off to the... I don't actually have it. Valley of Fallen Heroes? Something like that. Anyway, and that'll be the next area that we go to. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you soon. Take care.